From downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
Dangerous delivery.
I am just, like I said, in total shock.
A mother denied a trip to the hospital.
I just had my son a month early on a dirty jail cell floor.
And it's not the first time this jail has been accused of ignoring a medical emergency.
Everybody just looked at her like she was a piece of dirt. It's inhumane.
Jessica Preston was in the Macomb County Jail on a simple driving offense when she went into labor.
And told medical staff 3 times she was having her baby, but no one believed her. Local 4 defender Kevin Dietz live at the Macomb County Jail. Kevin, you have investigated 2 recent cases in which people with medical emergencies died behind bars.
That's right. It seems a pattern is emerging here at the Macomb County Jail. The hospital is just a stone throws away. You can almost see it from here, but some inmates are not being taken there when they are in serious medical emergencies. 2 inmates have already died behind bars, and now this local mother, pregnant, in jail on a suspended driving charge, is forced to have her baby behind bars. There's something special about a baby's first Christmas, the joy and wonderment of it all. Today, Elijah is happy and healthy. But 9 months ago, he suffered a traumatic injustice no baby should endure. This beautiful baby boy was born on a jail cell floor in filth because medical staff at the Macomb County Jail would not let Elijah's mother go to the hospital to give birth. Elijah's father missed the birth of his son.
I didn't get to cut the cord, I didn't get to hold him.
Because the jail refused to let Jessica go to the hospital. Elijah's father is angry.
How could this be happening? This is not the right time or the right place. It's a month early. Is he gonna be okay?
Jessica Preston was pulled over for driving on a suspended license, her first offense. At 8 months pregnant, the judge ordered her to pay $10,000 cash bond. She did not have the money, so she was locked up until her court date. 5 days later, Jessica went to the jail medical unit 3 separate times saying she was having her baby. They would not take her to the hospital. Elijah was born behind bars, his weight under 5 pounds, a dangerous delivery for baby and mother. Jessica's mom was terrified her daughter or grandson would die.
They didn't believe her. They just left her lay there. Everybody just looked at her like she was a piece of dirt.
Baby Elijah's paternal grandmother was looking forward to witnessing the birth, watching her son cut the cord. But no one would take the baby's mother to the hospital.
You can't do that to a human being. Can't. It's not right. It's inhumane. How's it going to affect them to grow up to be an adult, knowing that I was born on the floor of a jail cell and wrapped up in a dirty sheet?
The Macomb County Jail has been the focus of a 2-year defender investigation. On July 7, 2013, 37-year-old mother Jennifer Meyer dies in the Macomb County Jail. She was in for 30 days for failure to pay child support. Staff would not take her to the hospital. Cellmates tried to cool her fever with wet cloths and begged for medical attention. After 12 days, she died of sepsis. Jennifer's family is angry.
I could feel her dying, and there was nothing I could do.
11 months later, on June 27, 2014, David Stojewski dies inside the Macomb County Jail. He was there to serve a 30-day sentence for failing to appear in court on a traffic ticket for careless driving. He lost nearly 50 pounds in 17 days and died from withdrawal from doctor-prescribed medications. His last 10 days are on video. You can see what the jail and medical staff saw. A man twitching and seizing naked on his cell floor until his body was too weak to take another breath. David's family is angry.
Why you don't call 911 to help him? Why you let him die on the floor, cold, sweating, asking for help, and you guys don't care?
Behind on child support, a careless driving ticket, driving on a suspended license, 2 deaths, and a baby born behind bars. It would make anybody angry. Sheriff Tony Wickersham is in charge of the Macomb County Jail. He is not commenting today. After the Stojewski death went public, he did say privately hired medical staff makes the decisions. His deputies only followed their lead, and an investigation by the Justice Department found no criminal wrongdoing.
We have not identified any prosecutable violations of federal criminal law. Therefore, our investigation is closed.
Jessica Preston's first baby was born via an emergency C-section. For the mother's safety, Elijah was to be a C-section too. He was not. Forced to be born vaginally, preterm, and under 5 pounds. The staff did not send her to the hospital, increasing the risk for mother and baby. And our investigation is just getting started. Tomorrow at 5 p.m., Dr. Frank McGeorge will weigh in on the medical staff's decision not to take Jessica to the hospital. Then at 11, we'll hear from Elijah's mother, Jessica Preston, as she walks us step by step through what she calls the most terrifying day of her life as she delivers her son behind bars here at the Macomb County Jail. It's a story that's not easy for her to tell. She's brave for doing it, and she says she's only sharing her story so that this never happens to anyone else again. Kevin Dietz, Defenders.
There's a lot of questions still to be answered, and we'll keep asking them. All right, Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin. Well, the fog is starting to settle in over Metro Detroit as we take a live look outside, and then comes the rain.
Ben is tracking for live radar. Looks like a messy morning commute, Ben.
Yeah, just kind of a gauzy look to some of the sky cams that we have out there now, but that visibility is going to go down dramatically towards dawn. Not much to see as far as rain goes right now. We've got some showers in Monroe County, and that's about it. A few more sprinkles down here to the south. That rain's really going to get going, unfortunately, about the time that a lot of folks are on the roads going to work tomorrow morning. And we're going to take a look at totals as we get through the day. During the morning commute, especially down here in our south zone, we'll really start to see these numbers go up. Now, we're going to show you this because it does look like in the last couple model runs, they've been keying in on slightly higher totals here in our south zone. So there is a chance, probably not to 1.5 inches there in Adrian, but definitely an inch plus in a couple spots. So we'll have to watch that very carefully. So far, visibility is right now down to 4 miles at Metro Airport and down to 2.5 in Lambertville. So we'll be continuing to watch those carefully. Temperatures actually rising towards dawn. We'll get to 40 in the morning, head to 44 at noon, and we'll be on the way to a record in the afternoon. More on that ahead, guys.
All right, Ben. Senate Democrats are apparently in for the long haul tonight. Let's take a live look at Capitol Hill. Here's the Senate floor where they are pulling an all-nighter to show their opposition to Betsy DeVos as Education Secretary. There's Senator Cory Booker still speaking right now. The Senate expected to vote on her nomination to become Secretary tomorrow. Democrats keeping the Senate in session overnight, though, by holding the floor and hoping to sway one more Republican to vote against DeVos. Right now, the vote stands at 50-50, and of course, the tie-breaking vote would be cast for DeVos, we would presume, by Vice President Pence. No word on what time the Senate is going to take it up for the vote tomorrow. Dan Gilbert offering a new deal to Wayne County, hoping that it would fix their jail problem.
So the way it would work is Gilbert's company would build not just a new jail, but a whole new criminal complex up the road, and the county gives up the property of the failed jail site on Gratiot. Jason Colthorpe is live to break it down further for us. Jason?
And Kim, there's some numbers to break down here. Let's start with $420 million. That's how much Dan Gilbert and his group says it'll cost them to build that criminal justice complex, but they're willing to do it for just the $300 million that the county was planning to spend on a new jail. Is this a deal that's too good to be true? Is there a catch? At least one county commissioner telling me tonight he's not buying it. The offer is this. Dan Gilbert's company, Rock Ventures, will build Wayne County a new criminal justice complex, both an adult and a juvenile jail and a criminal courthouse. All new, all consolidated, and all for the same $300 million Wayne County was going to spend on the new jail and to renovate Frank Murphy, the current courthouse. In exchange, the county would give the land on Gratiot to Gilbert and Tom Gores for a potential $1 billion development that would include a Major League Soccer stadium. The new criminal justice complex would be built on East Forest Avenue, just off I-75. Wayne County tonight confirms to us it received a proposal as an alternative to completing the jail on Gratiot and says we will withhold further comment on the offer until we've had an opportunity to review it. But Wayne County Commissioner Ray Basham isn't withholding anything. He's against it. He tells me tonight this is not a win-win. It's a win for Dan Gilbert, but a loss for county taxpayers. He says the best thing for the county to do right now would be to finish what it started with the jail and renovating Frank Murphy. And he's confident most of the other 14 commissioners agree with him on that. Of course, we'll have to wait and see what Executive Warren Evans thinks about all of this. We expect to hear about that as Wayne County ends up looking at this deal. I do get the sense, though, that commissioners are not happy that this whole thing is playing out in the media. We're live downtown tonight. Jason Coulthorpe, local.
All right, much more in the days to come, Jason. Thank you. Well, this evening, family and friends gathered outside an East Side home to remember 3 men murdered there over the weekend. Police found the bodies inside a home on Sherwood Saturday afternoon. They were called to the home after family hadn't heard from one of the victims in 2 days. All of the men had been shot to death.
Why would they kill him? He didn't have nothing. He didn't have nothing. He wasn't no rich man or no man with no big money or nothing like that. He was just like all the rest of us with nothing.
At this time, it's still unclear why the men were targeted. Police are investigating.
Man caught on camera breaking into a Harrison Township home is now in custody. We showed you this surveillance video over the weekend. It shows a man rummaging through the home on 2 different days. The homeowner was out of town at the time, but got an alert that there was movement on her surveillance system. The 32-year-old suspect was on parole for a prior home invasion and now, of course, facing new charges. It cost her more than a flight. The Michigan professor caught on camera being dragged off a plane at Metro Airport will have to pay for that scene. You'll find out how much just ahead.
And a unique look at a wrong-way driver leading police on a chase, why this driver was on the run, and how the chase ended. Mara?
I'm Mara McDonald. We are live in Grosse Pointe Farms tonight because upgrades to a beloved institution is causing all sorts of controversy.
Some big controversy in the Points tonight. Plans to renovate and update the Grosse Pointe War Memorial means its longtime community theater group is going to be out in the cold. And that's just the beginning of the uproar over the plans.
Mara McDonald is live in Grosse Pointe Farms tonight. And Mara, this is all over a proposed movie theater that we're talking about.
It sure is, Kimberly, and this is the last playbill, or maybe the last playbill, that Grosse Pointe Theater ever puts out on stage here at the War Memorial. And really, that's just the beginning.
This came out of the blue.
For 54 years, Grosse Pointe Theater has put on productions ranging from Les Mis to last weekend's Fiddler on the Roof. As of right now, the theater company is homeless after being told the War Memorial is ready to upgrade its theater, and they partner with Imagine to get first-run movies in here.
We've been in this building for 54 years. We've got patrons who've had their season tickets for 40 years.
So here's the plan on the table. The idea is to renovate this entire theater, take out maybe 250 of the seats, and bring in a new state-of-the-art movie screen down here. An idea that has generated nothing but controversy.
I think that really people are upset about the Imagine Theater possibility.
The meeting tonight at the War Memorial to discuss the project got loud and at times passionate.
It's not healthy because you're afraid. You're afraid.
You see, it's not just the theater getting tufted out of its home that's the issue. Neighbors are complaining about potential traffic.
Because cutting seats doesn't necessarily mean you're cutting the amount of traffic.
Noise and litter. They're worried that a one-screen movie theater in the building will be a nightmare for those who have to live around it. The board here clearly doesn't see it that way.
We're responding to a need, and we're going to curate this experience, and we're going to do this with absolute first-class integrity in everything we do.
Back here live, the board says it has looked at the traffic issue, does not see that it would be an increase in volume. In addition, the board says it's also still in discussions with Grosse Pointe Theater about potentially maybe there would be some days for them in 2018. Maybe 9 are on the table right now, but members of the theater say that's simply not enough. We are live in Grosse Pointe Farms. Back to you.
All right, Mara, thank you. Well, there were no problems at the Fraser sinkhole site during yesterday's dreaded halftime flush. Remember, there was some concern that everybody would go and flush their toilets at the same time. But now there's a concern about the rain in the forecast.
Yeah, because Macomb County, as we reported, says even a little rain could cause another backup, forcing them to once again dump sewage into the Clinton River. People living in the 11 affected communities are being asked to continue limiting their water use. But the weather that we have on the way right now isn't helpful.
No, more than a little rain is on the way. I guess there is some good news. It looks like the heaviest of the stuff is going to be in our south zone So hopefully it'll stay away from those guys. But man, there's going to be rain pretty much everywhere as we get into tomorrow. You can actually see things in Metro right now, which is good news because we anticipate that fog is going to become a lot more dense as we get into the overnight hours. Very light winds out of the northeast at 3. 36 is the temperature, which is pretty close to what we're going to see for our lows tonight. And these numbers are going to come up as we head towards daybreak, probably around 40 degrees when we start things out tomorrow. You can see very similar numbers across the area. Coldest spots out here in Port Huron and Mount Clemens, and then those numbers get warmer as you get to the south. You can start to see a little bit of that warmer air that's going to be on its way in here, coming in from the south and west. Still not a whole lot to look at radar-wise. A lot of the more organized showers are off to our east. And that sort of explains the shift in the computer models that we've seen. It's kind of pulled a little bit of this moisture, a little bit more east and also a little bit more south. So as you look at this, as we go through tonight, still scattered showers. You see a couple areas of pink, maybe a couple spots of some very light freezing rain. Should not be an issue because this is going to become all liquid pretty quickly. And by 7 a.m. we'll see some pretty moderate rain across the area, at least moving from southwest to northeast, and we'll get a little bit of a break, and then it's going to pull a second round in here after lunchtime, and this is the one that I think is going to stay a little bit further south. You can see these darker colors in here. By that point, we'll start getting temperatures in the 50s, so there's going to be enough instability to fuel some thunder out there, so I wouldn't be surprised to hear any rumbles, but we're not looking for anything severe. And then that rain ends pretty quickly in the evening hours on Tuesday, which is good news because colder air is going to be coming in very quickly behind that. 38 or thereabouts is going to be our low temperature, and then we'll start seeing those numbers move upward as we head towards daybreak tomorrow. We're going to break down your high temperatures tomorrow because there's going to be quite a spread in these, and Metro Zone is going to be in the mid 50s. I think we'll probably tie that record at the airport at 53 tomorrow. But look at the South Zone tomorrow, close to 60 down here at the state line. A lot of mid and upper 50s across Lenawee and Monroe County. West Zone slightly cooler, but still in the 50s for the most part. Clarkston, you'll probably be the only spot that checks in the 40s. But in the North Zone, that warm push not quite making it up here. So mid 40s generally, even some mid and upper 30s for highs in Sanilac County. So that is quite a range across the area for tomorrow. And temperatures come down really quickly. Wednesday 38, 25 for a high on Thursday. Could see a couple flakes around on Friday, and then we'll start ramping back up with rain, not snow, as we head into the weekend with mid 40s on Sunday. You know, as we said earlier, usually you'd be thrilled about breaking a record in February, but not if it's going to cause the kind of problems that tomorrow could. Yes, fog, rain, everything is going to be ahead of that.
All right, Ben. Well, tragedy strikes a police officer in a rather unusual place. What caused his death while responding to an emergency at a sperm bank.
Also, a wrong-way driver wreaking havoc on the roads. Why the guy refused to stop. Next.
The Local 4. The Detroit.
At least 10 people were hurt after a wrong-way driver led police on a chase across Indianapolis. Street cams caught video of the chase as the driver in the stolen SUV weaved in and out of traffic. The chase started on the freeway and eventually ended when the driver exited and crashed into other cars. He was hurt in the crash but is facing a long list of charges.
A Georgia police officer was killed in the line of duty while responding to an alarm at a sperm bank. Turned out to be a liquid nitrogen leak inside the facility. Greg Meager died after being overcome by the chemicals. Before that happened, he had rescued one of the employees inside the building, but Meager was nearly killed 13 years ago when he was shot in the chin during an undercover drug bust.
Here at home, Michigan State Representative Brian Banks has resigned from the House. Today, he pleaded guilty to filing false financial statements after lying on a loan application. The plea deal required him to resign. He faces up to a year in prison. The University of Michigan professor who was dragged off a flight at Metro Airport has pleaded guilty to disorderly conduct. Back in December, police dragged Rima Coleman down the aisle after she refused to check her bag or swipe her boarding pass. Today, she was fined nearly $500.
Michigan State Police are seeking an arrest warrant against the person they say made a threat against Mott Community College. Classes were canceled today because of that threat, which referenced an active shooter, but classes will resume in the morning.
In Idaho, a propane fire nearly destroyed a small business there. The fire marshal says the fire started when ice and snow cracked the propane tank and allowed gas to fill the building. Within moments, the entire storage room caught fire. Fire officials responded to the call quickly and put out the flames before it spread to the rest of the building. No one was hurt.